All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another um, one of these talks. Let's just leave it at that. One of these talks. I don't ever plan it out. I'm kind of spare the moment person. I mean, topic wise, I put down a title and then I try to abide by that, and stick as close as I can to it. But then, yeah, I end up all over the place. So, God forgive me. But I mean, so here's the thing. I put the link up on comments here. I put a link up, and if you'd like to join, cool. I'm not going to talk a lot tonight. It's going to be another reading session because there's a lot to read, and I'm pretty sure I have on full screen. Let me see. No, okay. So this is going to be full screen, and as I promised last night after my live, I said I'm going to start sharing some more of my work. I just had to write, or not right, but wait for the right time, right, and the right people, to be honest, man, because I don't want to just share all this work and then no one really be interested or do anything with it. It's helped me a lot. It's helped me try to, have the courage to get this stuff out there, regardless of what people say. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I should be sharing full screen. If anyone can hear me, if anyone is pops up in the chat and has a suggestion. Okay. This is all my work. This is all independent. I didn't work with anybody or anyone except a little bit of AI help, So and this is unfolded over a couple of years. So as you can see here, this research reports. I'm going to uh, what should I read? So, and the reason I'm jumping on again tonight, night after night. Let me come back over here, make sure no one is in the comments. But the reason is because I just jumped off a live with Vic, or actually Vic, Vlad, and um I think Roger jumped on. D-Man was on there. So kind of what I want to do, I just want to go through and just let this stuff speak for itself. But this is revolving around flat Earth. This is revolving around, and I'm going to run through the settings and show you guys how I work with AI and what's important about it that you also should probably be exploiting right now. That way, you guys can get prepared for the future and really tag team up with some groups or some people, network, and really start messing around with what you can do with AI as far as research. I do some design stuff. Let me show you. Let me go to. Well, I don't think I have any images of this one. I know I did some podcasts, right? But this is just I'm turning my speeches into a podcast, and they're short, like 6 minute, 7 minute, 5 minute, and you can see the titles here. A lot of work that I've done is I deal with geometries, and I don't really like math that much, but the biodigital stuff, um, how we're where we're headed, how we got there, what's the history of this technology stuff, right?
Welcome to Copilot
Um,
Podcasts.
if y'all could hear that, let me play it a little bit more.
Imagine
But
tiny robots swimming through your bloodstream,
if y'all can hear
communicating
this,
with your smart city. Today,
this is about 2030, and then 2030, and the technology. Let me jump back over here just to see what y'all are saying. Larissa, what's up, brother? I'm feeling okay. I'm not like I say, I'm not gonna be talking too much today with my own voice, just because you know, a lot of strenuous stuff in my diaphragm isn't a good combo. But anyhow, so this stuff over here on the left, if you can see it, and Lord Racer, thank you for the 5x5, sir. So these are short podcasts, right? They're not something that I do with any other people. It's just something that I've learned is an asset for me to be able to go back and reference all this stuff without having to read, which, of course, there's a lot of reading involved as well. And Glad, happy to hear you. Yes, sir. Same here. I'm glad you're here, brother. Now, I'm gonna let y'all choose. I'm gonna jump over here, right? But I want to get your guys' feedback on what you kind of want to hear. I'm just gonna let you read them. I'm gonna list them off for you and show you. But yeah, if you guys want to give me your opinions, right, or choices first, and then I'll play a couple of these, which I've never played for anyone. So I'm just gonna come over here, and then when you guys see something you like or you're interested in, just say yes or no. And actually, I can do these down here. These are my original research papers, right? That I'm doing my documentary on, which is just my journey through my my disability, and also like my ideas for the next generation clothing, and battery, like energy harvesting, to where you can charge batteries from just using your own stuff, your own body. We don't need anybody else, just our own bodies. But you can see how long some of these are. Watch this. I'm gonna go fast. And it's still loading. See, like this talks about like so the documentary, or the docu series, is a 10 part, um 10 part, and this is just given the layout, like the living systems in practice, real world use cases, testimonials, short demos for days driven movement and therapeutic sessions, montage of diverse users, accessible user interface layovers, before after metrics, mobility, and circulation. So this is talking about stuff like motors I've created, and using vortex implosion kind of stuff that Walter Russell, which is a really cool name because my name's Russell, right? Um, but anyway, just kind of technology based off that, and then merging them, like with rodent coils, and yeah, different things that I'll give it all away. But this is all phi based. Damn it, what did I just do? I'm trying to show you guys how I came up with using nature and the phi ratios and stuff. All right, we still got one more person around. Okay, jump back over here. Whoops. Let me double this up. But yeah, biodigital convergence, or just dealing with things in the body, how a technology is used, from our body's layout and the earth and the fractal nature of it. Dang it, what happened? Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay, pilot. It's back over here. I skipped over some stuff. I'm messed up here. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is talking about plasma, and then water tech batteries, of course. Those have been those have been worked with before with Philip Myers, or Myers Stanley, something like that. There's so many names. I forget. Okay, let me. Just when I really want to use it, it's messing up. My apologies. Let me see if I can go in here and click on this. There we go. All right, so probably I'm just gonna let a couple of my short videos play. That is This will be the first time, so you guys are getting an exclusive. Let me go. Where? How did I get over here? So I'm signed in right there on that one, but I want to be on this one. Where did it go? No, I want to be on the main one. Oh, well, sorry about this, guys. This is just a little twitchy here. Um, I could go on this. Yeah, I could just drop down this menu and go to my library. So which one do you guys want to hear about first? There is like the biodigital stuff. There is my technology and clothing idea, and also Connexus coin, which I haven't got into yet. I haven't really worked on that side of it because I'm I don't want to wait too long, but I'm trying to wait and see what the community would rather do, like a barter system or like frequency and trading frequency and time of your body, through the clothing, or would you guys rather, do physical work for trading like fish in a sweater that you knitted, like that kind of stuff, or would you be able to uh, come together as small communities and use a bartering system through, coin and trading basically for services? Okay, let's see, comprehensive study guide. Let me go to podcast. And I'm gonna jump back over here. Do you guys really not have a preference? I mean, if y'all don't have a preference, I'll just play something, right? And make that choice. Because that there, I'm ready to start showing my work. And I'll tell you what, let's do this. Vortex meets brain. Let's look and see what this one's about, right? And if you can't hear it, let me know. If you
Welcome to
can't hear it,
Copilot
then
Podcasts.
that's good.
Imagine a computer that thinks in smoke rings and learns through living brain tissue. Today, we're exploring how toroidal vortex computing and biodigital interfaces are revolutionizing simulation technology.
It's a fascinating convergence of fluid dynamics, plasma physics, and biological computing that's completely changing how we process information.
Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a toroidal vortex?
Well, when you see a smoke ring? That's actually a perfect example of a toroidal vortex. It's a ring-shaped flow structure that's incredibly stable and efficient at transferring energy.
Wait, so we're using smoke ring physics to process information?
Exactly. And it's not just smoke rings. These same principles appear in plasma physics, particularly in fusion reactors called tokamaks, where plasma is confined in a toroidal shape.
That's incredible. But how does this translate to computing?
The key is in the stability and energy transfer properties. When we map information onto these toroidal structures, it becomes incredibly resistant to noise and disruption.
So it's like nature's way of protecting information?
Precisely. And when combined with fractal information theory, which organizes data in self-similar patterns across multiple scales, it becomes even more powerful.
Now, here's where it gets really wild. You mentioned biodigital interfaces. What's that about?
This is where we integrate living biological tissue with digital systems. We're talking about brain-on-chip technology and even tiny brain organoids.
Brain organoids? Like actual living brain tissue?
Yes, these are lab-grown neural tissues that can actually process information. They've even taught some to play simple games like Pong.
That's mind-blowing. But why combine this with toroidal computing?
Because biological systems are incredibly efficient at processing information and adapting to change. When we combine them with toroidal computing structures, we get systems that can self-organize and even self-heal.
And this is all being used in simulation technology?
Yes, particularly in something called Live Virtual Constructive Simulation, or LVC. It's used for everything from military training to aerospace testing.
How does it make these simulations better?
The toroidal structures help organize and route information more efficiently, while the biodigital interfaces provide adaptive control and real-time response to changes.
It's like giving the simulation a living brain.
That's a great way to think about it. And it raises some fascinating questions about consciousness and intelligence in these hybrid systems.
What kind of questions?
Well, when we have biological tissue processing information alongside digital systems, where do we draw the line between machine and living being?
That's pretty deep. Are there ethical guidelines for this kind of research?
Yes, there are strict protocols for working with biological tissues, and there's ongoing discussion about the ethical implications of biodigital convergence.
What are some of the biggest challenges in developing these systems?
One major challenge is maintaining long-term stability in the biological components. Brain organoids need careful monitoring and maintenance.
And I imagine scaling up must be difficult too?
Absolutely. Coordinating multiple biodigital interfaces across distributed systems while maintaining coherence is a significant challenge.
But the potential benefits seem worth it?
The benefits are enormous. We're talking about simulation systems that can adapt, learn, and even repair themselves, all while using far less energy than traditional computing.
Let's talk about some specific applications. Where is this technology being used right now?
One fascinating application is in digital twins, virtual replicas of physical systems that can be used for testing and optimization.
How do the toroidal structures help with digital twins?
They provide a robust framework for organizing and updating information in real time, ensuring the digital twin stays synchronized with its physical counterpart.
And the biodigital interfaces.
They add an adaptive layer that helps the system respond to unexpected changes or anomalies, much like a biological system would.
It's amazing how
Would you go
nature's
in and
principles
show
are
the
being
other
applied to
product like that?
computing.
Nature has had billions of years to optimize these processes. We're just beginning to understand and apply them.
What about security concerns? How do you protect these systems?
That's a crucial question. The toroidal structures actually provide some inherent protection through their topological properties.
Can you explain that a bit more?
Think of it like a smoke ring again. It's very stable and resistant to disruption. Information organized in toroidal structures has similar resilience to interference or attacks.
That's fascinating. What about the future? Where is this technology headed?
We're moving toward what some call distributed superintelligence, networks of biodigital systems that can solve complex problems in ways we can't yet imagine.
Should we be worried about that?
It's important to approach this thoughtfully. That's why ethical frameworks and regulatory oversight are crucial parts of the development process.
What excites you most about this technology?
The potential for creating truly sustainable, self-healing computing systems that work in harmony with biological principles.
And the biggest concern?
Ensuring equitable access to these technologies and preventing the creation of new digital divides.
How can we address that?
It requires intentional policymaking and inclusive development practices.
What would you say to someone who's skeptical about this technology?
I'd say, look at the evidence. We're already seeing remarkable results in experimental systems, and the potential benefits are too significant to ignore.
Any final thoughts on where we'll be in 10 years?
I believe we'll see these systems becoming integral to everything from healthcare to environmental protection, fundamentally changing how we interact with technology.
That's quite a vision for the future.
And it all started with understanding something as simple as a smoke ring.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Copilot Podcasts. From smoke rings to superintelligence, it's clear that the future of computing is taking some fascinating turns.
And hopefully becoming a bit more conscious along the way.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through the cutting edge of biodigital computing. Until next time, keep thinking in circles, toroidal ones. That is.
Okay, all right, let's move on to the next one. Let's see, what else can we look at? Guys, I love looking at the biodigital side of things. And um, I mean, it's very informational, okay? So don't just think I'm not talking about much in these. Like these were written by me and everything. So I'm trying to let me get to a little bit more of a serious kind of topic other than the way these vortices and toroidal shapes work with technology or can work with technology better. So this is a 2030 AI biodigital convergence like agenda. How are they trying to tie this in with smart cities and stuff like that? So basically, this is the subject matter. Okay, the AI biodigital convergence loop, integrating 6G nanotech biotech interbody networks, which is just your very little computers, transistors, stuff like that. Smart dust, on and on, the stuff that we breathe in, it gets in our bloodstreams. It is small enough across the blood-brain barrier, some of them. And then how do they use the biosurveillance? Where does the National Institute of Health come in? The Department of Homeland Security? What are the roles of these departments that we think are in it for the best national security, quote unquote? Little rabbit ears. Or is it they're trying to protect the interest of their company, or they're trying to protect their people that work for the company? I think they would want to control us more than just take care of us, right? And we're seeing that all around us all the time. Now, 2030, we know that they've got mega region maps, which I'll show some pictures of as this reads through. Okay, so if you can just bear with me long enough to get this over to my software to read it, because it's not going to be easy for me to read. There's quite a bit, but I will put it on like 1.4 or 1.5 or something. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Let me share this. Okay, just put it in an email and then let me do it this way. No. Okay, so this is share. Okay, second here. I know I talk a lot. That was loud, but that's what you got to do when you're doing these videos like this. All right. So just bear with me. Um, where do I want to? I want to put it in my Google Keep. Where where's that share option for Google? I don't really see it in there. Let me try one more time. I think I may have to do on my tablet instead. This link can view and share your report. Yeah, no shit. I could just open it up. Nope, let me see if I've got the option to read it right here through my right here. I think I do more tools, read aloud. Okay. I think I will be able to do it right here, guys. So buckle up. This is very, 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 very dense, but there's
The
a
2030
lot.
AI
Okay.
Biodigital Convergence Loop, integrating 6G, nanotechnology, biotechnology, intrabody networks, biosurveillance, and smart cities for the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Introduction: the Biodigital Convergence Revolution. The dawn of the 21st century has witnessed the rapid fusion of biological and digital domains, a phenomenon now widely recognized as biodigital convergence. This convergence is not merely a trend, but a transformation that is reshaping the very fabric of society, the economy, and even the definition of life itself. 1, 2, 3. At its core, biodigital convergence denotes the interactive combination and merging of engineering, nanotechnology, biotechnology, information technology, and cognitive science. 1. 4. The implications are vast, from the reverse engineering of living systems and the creation of digital twins to the deployment of intrabody networks and the rise of smart cities powered by artificial intelligence, AI, virtual/augmented reality, VR/AR, and the Internet of Bodies, IoB. This report synthesizes major research streams. 1. The convergence of 6G, biodigital convergence, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and high-altitude military platforms. 2. The integration of intrabody networks, biosensors, and biosurveillance systems with Department of Defense, DoD doctrine. And 3. The convergence of AI, VR/AR, mixed reality, smart dust, malography, digital twins, tokenized biometric data, and smart cities. The analysis is anchored in the context of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, with a particular focus on the real-time implementation of the 2030 AI Biodigital Convergence Loop. 1. Defining biodigital convergence, concepts, pillars, and paradigms. 1.1. Biodigital convergence, definitions and evolution. Biodigital convergence is the process by which digital and biological systems are increasingly integrated, often to the point of merging, resulting in new hybrid forms of life and technology. 1, 2, 4, 5. This convergence is characterized by full physical integration, embedding digital technology in organisms and vice versa, leading to brain-machine interfaces, biohybrid robots, and digital twins of living systems. Coevolution. Advances in one domain, e.g. AI, catalyze breakthroughs in the other, e.g. genomics, resulting in synergistic progress. Conceptual convergence. A shift in perspective where biology is increasingly seen as programmable and digitally manageable, while digital systems adopt biological models, e.g. neural networks. 1. The NBIC paradigm, nanobio-infocogno, and its evolution into mambric, medical, additive, nano, bio, robo, info, cogno, have provided the conceptual foundation for this convergence. 4. 1.2 Key pillars: data, genomics, and critical systems. Policy Horizons Canada and other leading organizations identify 3 fundamental pillars driving biodigital convergence. 5. Data. The digitization of biological information, e.g., genomics, biometrics, fuels both the digital economy and the emerging bioeconomy. Genomics. Advances in gene sequencing, editing, e.g., CRISPR, and synthetic biology enable the design and modification of living systems. Critical systems. Biofoundries, biomanufacturing facilities, and integrated digital platforms support research, development, and production at scale. These pillars interact to transform the economy, society, environment, and governance, underpinning the implementation of the SDGs. 1.3. The 2030 AI Biodigital Convergence Loop. The 2030 AI Biodigital Convergence Loop refers to the real-time, recursive integration of AI-driven digital systems with biological processes, creating feedback loops that continuously optimize health, productivity, and sustainability. 1.5. This loop is operationalized through continuous data collection from biosensors and intrabody networks, AI-driven analysis and decision-making, real-time interventions, e.g., personalized medicine, environmental management, feedback into digital twins and smart city platforms. 2. 6G technology and sensing capabilities, the backbone of biodigital integration. 2.1. 6G, beyond communication to sensing and sense-making. 6G is poised to revolutionize connectivity by moving beyond traditional communication to encompass integrated sensing, AI, and real-time data processing. 6. Key features include ultra-sensitive sensors, capable of detecting physical, chemical, and biological changes at extremely low concentrations. Terahertz, T-Hertz frequencies, enabling 1 Tbps data throughput, sub-millisecond latency, and high mobility. AI and machine learning integration for enhanced data processing, predictive analytics, and autonomous decision-making. Internet of Everything IoE connecting billions of devices, including intrabody sensors, wearables, and environmental monitors. 6G networks will underpin the Internet of Bio-Nano-Things, IOBNT, facilitating seamless communication between nano devices, biosensor gateways. 7. 2.2. Biomedical applications, intrabody networks, and biosensors. 6G-enabled biosensors and intrabody networks are transforming healthcare and biosurveillance. 7. 9. Continuous health monitoring. Wearable and implantable sensors track vital signs, biomarkers, and disease progression in real time. Smart implants. Devices adapt their function based on real-time feedback, improving patient outcomes. Remote diagnostics and telemedicine. AI-powered 6G systems enable rapid, accurate diagnoses and interventions. Digital twins. Real-time physiological data feeds into digital replicas for personalized medicine and predictive modeling. 10. 2.3. Quantum and nanoscale sensing. Emerging technologies such as quantum biosensing and nanobiosens further enhance sensitivity and specificity, enabling detection of single molecules, pathogens, or environmental toxins. 11. These advances are critical for early disease detection, environmental monitoring, and precision agriculture. 3. Nanotechnology and biotechnology, foundations of the biodigital era. 3.1. Nanotechnology, enabling precision sensing and actuation. Nanotechnology provides the materials and devices that make biodigital convergence possible. 11. 9. Nanobiosensors utilize nanoparticles, nanotubes, nanowires, and quantum dots for ultra-sensitive detection of biomolecules, pathogens, and environmental contaminants. Smart dust networks of micro/nanoscale sensors, MEMS, enable distributed sensing in healthcare, defense, and environmental applications. 12. MZines and advanced materials offer high conductivity, biocompatibility, and functionalization for biosensing and drug delivery. Nanotechnology also supports point-of-care diagnostics, wearable devices, and the integration of biosensors with IoT and AI platforms. 3.2. Biotechnology and synthetic biology, engineering life. Biotechnology and synthetic biology are at the heart of biodigital convergence. 13. Gene editing, CRISPR/Cas9 enables precise modification of DNA for therapeutic, agricultural, and industrial applications. Biofoundries, automated facilities that use AI, robotics, and big data to design and produce genetically engineered organisms. Biomanufacturing, production of chemicals, materials, and medicines using engineered microbes and cell cultures, supporting resilient supply chains and sustainability. 13. These technologies are increasingly integrated with digital platforms for design, simulation, and quality control. 3.3. Integration with digital systems. The convergence of nanotechnology and biotechnology with digital systems enables real-time data acquisition and analysis from biosensors and omics platforms, digital twins of biological systems for simulation, optimization, and personalized interventions, AI-driven discovery and automation, accelerating research, development, and deployment of new therapies and materials. 4. Intrabody networks, biosensors, and biosurveillance, military and civilian integration. 4.1. Intrabody networks and the Internet of Bodies (IoB). Intrabody networks and the Internet of Bodies (IoB) refer to the integration of biosensors, wearables, and implantable devices that collect, transmit, and analyze physiological data. 7. 8. Key developments include molecular communication, using chemical signals for communication between nanodevices inside the body. AI-driven localization and anomaly detection for infection sources, cancer microenvironments, and metabolic disruptions. Gateways and edge computing. Off-the-shelf biosensors serve as gateways, enabling real-time data transmission to cloud or edge platforms. These networks are foundational for personalized medicine, biosurveillance, and digital health ecosystems. 4.2. Biosurveillance systems and DoD doctrine. The Department of Defense, DoD, has established comprehensive biosurveillance programs to enhance force health protection and national security. 14. 15. 16. Integrated biosurveillance combines data from health, medical, environmental, veterinary, and CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear surveillance. AI-driven analytics. Modern biosurveillance leverages AI, machine learning, and big data to detect, assess, and respond to biological threats in real time. 15. Interoperable systems. The DoD mandates interoperable platforms and common reporting standards across military branches and with international partners. Forecasting and modeling. Advanced modeling supports decision-making for pandemics, bioterrorism, and emerging infectious diseases. The integration of intrabody networks and biosensors with DoD biosurveillance doctrine represents a paradigm shift toward predictive, responsive, and resilient defense capabilities. 4.3. Ethical, legal, and social implications (ELSI). The deployment of intrabody networks and biosurveillance raises significant ELSI concerns. 4. 5. Privacy and autonomy. Continuous monitoring of physiological data challenges traditional notions of privacy and consent. Data security. Sensitive biometric and genomic data are vulnerable to cyber attacks and misuse. Dual-use risks. Technologies developed for health and safety can be weaponized or used for surveillance and control. Robust governance frameworks, transparency, and public engagement are essential to address these challenges. 5. Electromagnetic warfare doctrines and biodigital convergence. 5.1. Electromagnetic spectrum operations, military modernization. Electromagnetic 17. EW arsenals. Centralized modular platform-independent payloads allow soldiers to select and deploy EW capabilities tailored to specific missions. The 2030 AI Biodigital Convergence Loop, integrating This report synthesizes three major research streams. 1. Defining biodigital convergence, Concepts, Pillars, and Paradigms. 1.1. 5. 5.1. Electromagnetic warfare, EW, encompasses the use of the electromagnetic spectrum, EMS, for offensive and defensive military operations. Electromagnetic warfare, EW, encompasses the use of the electromagnetic spectrum, EMS, for offensive and defensive military operations. 17. 18. Recent advances include EW arsenals, centralized repositories of EW techniques, exploits, and tools for rapid deployment and reprogramming. Modular, platform-independent payloads allow soldiers to select and deploy EW capabilities tailored to specific missions. Integration with AI and SEMA, cyber and electromagnetic activities.
Activities enhances situational awareness, targeting, and decision-making. EW is increasingly integrated with biodigital systems, including biosensors, intrabody networks, and smart dust, to enable multi-domain operations. Stratospheric militarization. High-altitude platforms, HAPS, including balloons, drones, and airships, are being deployed for persistent surveillance, communications, and EW. 19. 18. IS intelligence, surveillance, AI-driven onboard processing enables
Well, although they can't spot the culprit directly, your senses might be onto something. The Earth is surrounded by eyes, studying you, tracking you, trying to understand every aspect of your day-to-day life. They are our own satellites, and there are hundreds of them. And I don't think we have quite realized how good they've gotten. There are satellites with mirrors the size of Hubble's, not pointed at distant galaxies to unravel their mysteries, but staring down at you. There are satellites that can see through clouds and don't care if it's day or night, they see just as clearly either way. In this age of information, where companies are pushing for more and more data, and governments strive to keep track of criminals and threats, the thing that might be harder and harder to find is privacy. Are the benefits worth the cost? I'm Alex McColgan, and you're watching Astrum, and it is time to look out the nearest window and smile for the camera. There, Now, do you want to see how your picture turned out? In 1957, the number of artificial satellites in space first ticked up from 0 to 1. Sputnik 1 was launched by the Soviet Union, officially to practice their satellite deployment methods and to send test radio signals through the atmosphere, but also to show the world that they were winning the space race. The world, however, did not take long to catch up. In 2007, 50 years later, there were 912 active satellites orbiting the Earth. As a testament to how quickly the industry is growing, it took only 10 years for that number to reach 1,000. 905, and this number is set to grow. The company's space satellite upping in the next 10 years. There could be hundreds. Of course, not all of these satellites are there for observation. Around half of the ones active right now are communication satellites. But still, according to data collected by the UCS, the aptly named Union of Concerned Scientists, at the start of 2022, there were 1,052 eyes looking down on us. That's a lot of eyes. And they're getting sharper. Let's discuss spatial resolution. This is a measurement of how many meters on the ground are represented by a single pixel in a satellite-taken image. The early cameras on satellites like Landsat 1 had a resolution of 80 meters, which is to say, a single pixel represented an 80 by 80 meter square, meaning you could almost fit an entire football field in it. This made them good for taking sweeping images of our planet at large, and perhaps for keeping track of massive objects like clouds and weather fronts, but there was hardly the sense that our privacy was at risk. Now? Well, see for yourself. These full color videos were taken by Carbonite 2, a commercially available satellite that captures an entire 5-kilometer swath as it passes by at 500 kilometers in low Earth orbit.
What if you can create your own website by saying, "This is what I want"? With Wix,
the resolution for this video is 1 meter, which is good enough that you can pick out details like the motion of waves on the sea or cars driving along the road in real time. Although you might not be able to distinguish their car make and most likely not their drivers. The advantages of such a video are obvious. Transport officials can keep an eye on traffic congestion, and it becomes easy to track the speed of urbanization. There are also numerous scientific benefits, which we'll get into later, but there's one undeniable feature of such improved resolution that made it very interesting for governments around the world. And the main reason you might be worried, it becomes easier for spy satellites to keep track of you. Spy satellites have also come a long way. Originally, when the CIA began their secretive Corona project, disguised as an innocent space exploration program called Back Down to Earth, where the capsules carrying the sensitive data could later be recovered. One of these capsules not to last longer than Earth has some constraints on us that make better resolution